Tim. Thank you so much for agreeing to do a 15-minute franchise interview. Would you mind to start out by telling us your name, your location, and what year you became a right-at-home franchise owner?
Sure. Good morning. Thank you for taking the time to do this. My name is Tim Randall. I am in the Fairfield County location in Connecticut. We are going into our 12th year of owning. I own 3 territories. I bought 2 initially at the end of 2011, the beginning of 2012, added a third in 2015. My wife and I do this together. We operate out of one location, but we have 2 virtual offices. Well, also, we have sort of a wide area geographically. What led me to home care? Let's start there. My oldest son is a special needs individual. He's older now. He's 30. And we had always been very involved from his care from when he was a baby. We involved with discharge planners, hospitals, different schools, involved with social workers, folks, OTPT, kind of all peripheral related spaces to home care. And having had that life experience really helped set the stage for myself and my wife to be able to become owners in the home care space. I was doing something else completely different. I was a Wall Street guy, and I did that for 26, 27 years, worked in New York City, worked overseas for a couple of years. So this is very much a career change, probably the poster child for career change. That said, shortly after I joined Right at Home, several others have come along as well also. 2 or 3 I was instrumental in bringing in and introducing to the Right at Home system. I've also done a number of calls and helping people as they make change, as they come to a fork in their career, and it's ended in one walk of life, and I could help them, whether it's in the home care space, about making those decisions. It was humbling and humiliating at the age of 49, 50 years old to be able to have that career for me end. And I don't mind telling you this, but my experience that I had on Wall Street was absolutely portable and transferable to nothing. And it's just the reality. It can't prepare you to be an engineer, to maybe work for Microsoft or for Google. Just didn't have that experience. Selling, being able to be good in the phone, relating to others in our specific space, seniors and the family members of them, came very easy to me. And so that maybe I had that experience kind of going for me, and being able to talk to people about their care needs for their individual loved one.
Okay, perfect. And then, you had said that your son, and going through, the process of going to doctors and different appointments with him, is that really what attracted you to Right at Home?
Actually, Right at Home kind of found me.
Okay.
I did validate with one other home care company at the time. We actually started in our first location, which is a city you probably maybe have heard of it, Danbury, Connecticut. That's where our initial was. And we had bought that territory from a lady who had only had it for a year. It wasn't for her. And we bought that territory and a second territory at the same time, which was an unowned virgin territory, if you will. It was not owned by anybody prior. So we had bought those 2 and had worked out of that location for a while. And then we have since moved our main office closer to where we live, but we kept that office as well. To the question of in terms of Right at Home and the attractiveness of it, I looked at Right at Home and one other. We had gone, actually, Lisa had gone to the Discovery Day. She was very taken by that. I guess it was 2 weeks back in the day. And she came back and said, this is what we want to do. I wasn't sold.
Okay.
Not on Right at Home. I wasn't sold on home care. You have to understand, I was doing something else for a while. This was literally 3 months after I was downsized or basically laid off from what I had done. And so it took me a little while to sort of get my arms around, like, this is going to be the next chapter in our lives. Lisa was there already. She wanted to do it, was full on in the office every day. I was as well also, but still candidly looking at other things. And a lot of couples that are in this business, sometimes married couples will be in the business together, or one of the individuals will run the business and the other will continue in their career. We decided not to do that. I kind of did some things a little bit on the outside. Lisa did as well also. But I'd say 6 to 9 months after, we were both fully engaged, realizing this is, for real. I started to go out and talk to folks about Right at Home, what we were doing and what have you. And they responded. Folks responded, and it resonated in what I was saying and what corporate had educated us in terms of how to relay what we're doing, our suite of services, if you will, to those folks. So it kind of took care of itself, and we hit the ground running pretty hard with that. And I'll pause there for a moment and just say I've been able to help others that are new coming into the Right at Home system or thinking about coming into the home care space and whether this is really for them or not. So there are owners like me that love to market and be out of the office. Actually, it's the best part of my job, is being out talking to folks and folks really my age in their 50s and 60s that are putting care in for their parents. Sometimes they're younger, it could be their grandparents. So that came very naturally, to me.
Absolutely. And then what does your and Lisa's typical day look like now? And what did it look like when you first became franchise owners?
Okay. So the second question first, we were full on 50, 60 hours a week. And we both worked it that way pretty much into COVID, into the pandemic, especially me. Lisa's more part-time now. And is doing things around the eldercare space outside the office. We have very divided roles. But let me pause for a moment. It took a while for us to get to a separation of roles. When you have a married couple doing two different things, all of a sudden they're working together. Oh my God. So that's that. I've talked to folks kind of about that as well also, but it quickly became apparent we had a clear division in roles, and I run the day-to-day. Typically, I'm here half the day, maybe a little bit longer, then I'm out marketing or doing something else. But before that, in the office and doing a healthy amount of marketing. I didn't hire a sales rep or a marketer or somebody to canvas our suite of services for us. I did it. I did it for a while. For the first 4 or 5 years, Lisa was in the office, and we hired staff to kind of go around that.
Okay, perfect. And then thinking back, what do you think is one piece of advice that you would want to know coming in the system as a Right at Home franchise owner? Or what is something important that you think, for our listeners to know?
Okay, so one of the things when I talk to folks about when they're looking at different, not just other home care agencies, but looking at other franchises or other walks of life, whether it be a McDonald's or whether it be an education type of a protocol with those types of companies, or doing something maybe in the evac space. If you're getting a call and somebody's calling us or another home care agency, they need us. And so if you think about that for a moment, what other type of businesses really would that relate to? So either I'm going to get the business. If they're calling, they need the care in 3 hours, or they're looking to put it in place in 2 weeks or a month. As opposed to shopping for a hotel, going on vacation, buying a car, buying a computer, buying a boat. All of those can wait. Home care cannot. So we are going to get the business, or one of my competitors is. And that comes, you take that for granted, but I really never do, because it is unique in this space that if somebody's calling us, they need it. They need it. They may be shopping, but they need it. They're shopping on behalf of somebody else. They're making the calls and the due diligence upon us. So that's a clear separation from coming into this space versus, I would say, for the most part, any other walk of life.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. And then what do you feel like is the best piece of support that Right at Home provides you?
Well, let me come back to the other question. There's something I wanted to add. So one of the things that if you're coming into the space, it's not 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And I don't say that lightly. And it's even gotten more so in the past couple of years. So engagement, especially initially, the first 2 or 3 years, will need to happen pretty much all the time. It's the way our health system is going. Discharges from assisted livings and specialty hospitals happen, could be 11 o'clock p.m. on a Saturday night, might as well be Tuesday at 1 p.m. So that's something that folks need to talk about in terms of organizing their life. Can they do that? Young kids, where are they at? They're newly married. Are they starting a family or what have you? Can you set the time aside?
Yeah.
And sorry, what was your second question?
Oh, what is the one piece of support that you think is the most valuable from Right at Home?
Right at Home, the support system was very good back then. I think it's better now. I think that Right at Home's best representatives are the other owners. You know, corporate is there for support, and they're very good about it and have been very helpful to us over the years by way of a search engine or an internet specialist. And then we have a business coach, one that's been with me for a while. We understand each other very well. But the other owners, and there's ways to do that, different groups, things along those lines, or meetings or what have you. The owners are, I found, an invaluable resource, and through different mediums of which Right at Home has. So two-part answer. One, corporate support. Yes, it is. It'll help you with the protocol, getting yourself business set up on QuickBooks, ClearCare, what you need to staff, and then the owners. I'm running into this scenario. What do I do? Yeah, your business coach can answer it, but an owner's lived it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Tim, I so appreciate your time. I appreciate all that you and Lisa do for your community.
Thanks.
You know, people like you definitely are so needed and really do make the world a better place.
Great.
So
Happy to do it. You're
thank
welcome.
you so much, Tim.
Bye-bye now.
Have a good day.